Hello and welcome to video 3 of your training. In this video we're going to talk about making short trades with the trading system, and to begin with let's just talk about the basic rules. The system's actually quite simple to use. Once you learn it and learn to use it well, it will be quite a profitable system for you that doesn't take a lot of Forex knowledge to get started with. First of all, we enter a short sell trade. That's a sell trade when these two conditions happen. The EMA 5 crosses over so that it is below the EMA 12. So on your charts, that's the blue line crossing below the green line. And the parabolic SAR dot appears above the price candlestick at the same time that this happens. And we're going to look at this and the charts in just a second and give you some real examples. Once we have those two conditions happen, we enter the trade. We set a stop loss at 50 pips. And we exit the trade when the parabolic SAR dot appears below the price candlestick. We'll give you some examples of this, so if it doesn't make sense just yet, it will in a minute. Alternatively, as an alternative exit strategy, instead of exiting when the SAR dot appears below the price, we can trail the stop at 50 pips and ride the trend. When you're just starting out, this is the easy way to do it. As you gain more experience, you might want to try this alternative way of exiting the trade, as it can lead to more profits, but sometimes it doesn't, so stick with this one when you're just starting out. So let's look at this on a chart here, and then we'll actually go on to MetaTrader and show you some real short trade examples. So I've got a chart here. We're looking for two conditions to enter a trade. We need the EMA 5 to cross over so that it is below the EMA 12, and looking on this chart, the blue line has crossed under the green line, so that condition is met. And when that happens, we need the parabolic SAR dot to appear above the price candlestick. And just going up right above that point, the parabolic SAR dot is right there. So at that point, that's our indication to enter the trade. So let's do that. When we enter the trade, we enter at that point. We enter the sell trade, and we set a stop loss. And this is to protect us in case things don't go our way, 50 pips back from the entry point. And then once we're in the trade, we exit the trade when the parabolic SAR dot appears below a candle. So in this case, we entered the trade up here, and we stayed in the trade all the way until the parabolic SAR dot appeared below the candle on the bar or on the chart. And alternatively, we could have trailed a stop at 50 pips. In this case, it probably wouldn't have made much difference for profitability, but for when you're starting out, use this exit strategy. It's the simplest. Let's take a look at this and look at some real trade examples on MetaTrader. Okay, so let's just look at an example trade here on the charts. I'm looking at the Euro US dollar chart on the 1 hour time frame, which is what you should be using this system in, especially when you're starting out. The 1 hour is the easiest to trade with this system. And just taking a look here, we first need to look for our criteria, and the criteria is quite simple in this case. We're looking for the EMA 5, which is the blue line, to cross over the EMA 12, which is the green line, and to fall below it. So that's happened. It's crossed down under the EMA 12, and the EMA 5 is now below the EMA 12 at this point. To be a valid entry signal, we need the parabolic SAR dot to appear above at the same time, above that candle at the same time that the crossover happens. So in this case, that happened, and we have our entry signal here. So now we enter the trade, we enter a sell trade or enter short, and we set a stop loss. We entered this trade at 1.3749, and we set our stop loss 50 pips above that for a sell trade. So we add 50 pips, which would make our stop loss 1.3799 for this trade. And in this case, we just stay in the trade. Managing this trade is quite simple. We stay in it until the point gets down here where the parabolic SAR dot appears below a candle, and that actually happened. We exited this trade at 1.3556 is when that happened. So quite a profitable trade. That's 193 pips, and the trade itself lasted from February 17th till the beginning of the day on February 18th. So 193 pips in one day with that trade. Let's take a look at another example here. Okay, so looking at the US dollar Swiss franc on the 1 hour chart, again, we're looking for our indication to enter the trade. And once again, that happens when the blue line, which is the EMA 5, crosses below the green line, which is the EMA 12, so that has happened at this point. And when that occurs, we need the parabolic SAR dot to appear above that candle, and that happened in this case. In this trade, we entered at 1.0454, and we set our initial stop loss 50 pips above that for a short trade. So we add 50 pips, and we set our stop loss to 1.0504. And in this case, the trade moved in our favor, and it continued on its way throughout the day on January 21st, and continued until this point when the dot appeared below the candle. That's when we exit the trade. So we exited this trade at 1.0389. So this was a 65 pip trade, and it took less than a day to complete this trade. So again, another profitable trade and a good example of how to use this system for short trades. With some examples out of the way, you should now move on to video 4 to watch the rules for long trades, and we'll give you some real examples again. Largely the rules are the same, they're just reversed for long trades, but you should watch the video anyway. And then once you're done watching that video, start to make practice trades for both short and long trades on the MetaTrader platform. You can do this with historical data, kind of like I just showed you in the examples, or you can use your practice account and make live trades with the practice account until you get familiar with your system. Doing so will ensure that you're comfortable with this trading system and you will profit more over the long term.